And with that, today we have speaking Dulce Alenkar-Lake. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly. Is speaking on being a spiritist in the 21st century. She was born in the Amazon rainforest, raised as a Catholic and member of the Polar movement. I'm probably butchering that, with a strong tradition regarding universal brotherhood and the unity of all Christians. She met the Spiritist movement in the United States in 2010. Dulce has worked as a volunteer translator for Brazilian Spiritist writers. She has translated series about Saint Paul by the philosopher Paulo Cesar Fernandez, as well as the books Sexuality and Spiritual Health by Aurelio Filho. I know I'm probably messing that up, sorry, among others. Dulce now is a worker at the Love and Wisdom Spiritist Society in Largo, Florida. So let us all welcome Dulce, and please remember to have your mics muted unless you need to speak. So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Okay. If you could keep your cameras on and your microphone off, but your cameras on, because it helps so much me to see you guys. Your energy it helps me. Uh, Before I begin, as you saw when in this little bio, I am one of the newcomers, right? And I am daring to be speaking. But just this morning, I was talking to somebody saying, if we wait for perfection to become a worker, we are doomed, because it's not going to happen so that quickly. So, and that's why I'm saying I dare, just because I really am counting on our mentors that are going to help me, and on your energy that is going to be what we make it. My intentions are good, my heart is good, but that's why I say I need your energy. I'm just one new worker that is fighting to not to be idle waiting for the world to change. Let's put it this way. And I think that I was very happy to hear that you guys you don't have a denomination in your group, and I think that is really the way to go for the future. I remember when I was a teenager in this group, in this Catholic group that I used to belong to, and we the how do I call that? The central theme of this group was the prayer of Jesus that shows in John's gospel, that it says, may all, it's a prayer that Jesus does, that it says, may they all be one. And I remember we asked the leader, how's that going to be? Are all the evangelicals going to become a Catholic? Are the Jews going to become a Catholic? How is that going to be? And she was so wise. We were just kids, stupid, right? And she just looked at us and says, you just keep loving and keep striving for unity, and things will happen as God, in God's plan. Because of course she didn't have an answer, and of course that's not the way to go. We are not intending in converting anybody to anything, right? And I thought, wow, 35 years later I can barely begin to understand that it's going to be what's going to be, and all we got to do is do our part and care for brotherhood, for human brotherhood. But anyway, let's begin. I chose this theme uh, because I have been thinking about this this changes that it seems to be completely necessary for us, which means how are we going to be some different presence in the 21st century in this planet we live in? I mean, if you talk to people, so many people are saying we are so messed up that we are almost at a point of no return. The planet is a mess. We can't understand one another. The big, powerful nations are losing their power. We don't know. There is uncertainty. There is so much going on, and this new generation is scared. So I think that it is, and then you think, okay, we have something that we believe that is really good, which is a spiritism. There is something that can help you do better in their own lives. So how's that going to be? But this is not the 19th century anymore, right? We are not in the 1800s anymore. So what has changed? So I thought this could be something that it would be just a topic for conversation. Let me just share with you the screen. And as I said, because I am a beginner, you guys, you can interrupt me any minute, and don't hesitate, okay? Because I get nervous, then I talk, but you can stop me any minute you want. So number one, I want to call our attention for this picture. Because I think it expresses what we are. We are walking on the footsteps of giants, not only in science, but also in spirit. So many people have given their lives for the progress that we have achieved today. And I'm not even talking about technology, I'm talking about human progress, right? So the big question that I'd like us to talk about is this: what distinguishes us from our other religious traditions and even our other spiritualist philosophies? That was at least my intention. Give me 1 second. Let me just move this to the side. Is everybody seeing the screen?
Yes, we are.
Please give me an okay. First of
Yes, we
all,
can see.
very quickly, I don't need to preach to the choir, right? To preach to the choir would be a good thing. This is just for us to have a minute of thinking. Really quick, who are we as an identity of a spiritist? If we think that's relevant, some people don't think it's relevant, and I would be okay with that. And I like this number 2, there are no spiritists alike. We don't think the same, and that's okay. Diversity is our strength. That's what is the beauty of this. Following the Spiritist doctrine does not make us robots. Our doctrine demands from us reasoning, questioning, and investigating. And that's why I love Spiritism, because I did come from a world that there was, you can do this, but you cannot do that. And but I couldn't get an explanation why I couldn't do that. So I think that this is the idea of a faith that is a reasoning faith is probably the biggest treasure that we can have to the 21st century. We need people who reason and understand why things are the way they are. And most importantly, we are citizens of the universe. Here I am speaking to Americans with my, weirdo accent and imperfect English, but okay, we are citizens of the universe. And we have just to accept one another, accept our differences, and be merciful. And that would definitely be very, very important for the 21st century. Another one that's just a review. Who are we? Probably people ask us this all the time, right? Now, the second one is my point of reference. If somebody asks you, so are you Christian? Yes, we are. Are you Catholic? No, I'm not. But so you're evangelical? No, I'm not. So you are Christian? Yes, I am. Who are you? How do I know? you are a Christian. And Kardec came with this spectacularly profound definition. We recognize a true spiritist by his or her moral transformation and the effort that he or she puts into overcoming bad inclinations. This is absolutely fundamental if we are serious about making any difference in our own lives and in the lives of others in the 21st century. Because so much technological and scientific progress has been made, but it seems that humanity is lacking about moral transformation. That's why we are still doing crazy things on this planet. We are not paying attention to the planet because we have gone so far intellectually, scientifically, and our morals have seems to be kind of left behind. At least that's my gut feeling. Now look at this. How about that? Another food for another something for thinking about. Evolution. I mean, we mean serious evolution. Evolution as a being that one of the things that we have to say at this moment is for us to even consider evolution. We are talking about spiritual beings that we are temporarily in a physical body that has a mission, that we are here for one specific reason. We are here to do good and to progress, right? But if we think about that, evolution without change is impossible. There are a lot of people, that good old saying, I've spent half of my life saying that, this is how I am, and I am actually proud of my accomplishments. I'm not going to change. So that is definitely not good. Definitely, right? You can immerse yourself in the study of the doctrine. You can even practice charity. But without self-moral transformation, there is no evolution. I didn't say that, Kardec said that. So it's important that we understand that. Look at this. I love those two next sentences. Study without moral transformation is intellectual vanity. Ay, 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 a big word. Vanity. Yes, we still are vain. We are showing off how much intellect we love an intellectual discussion. Spiritism is full. I don't know in America because I never worried about it, but there is a statistics about in Brazil that the statistics shows that the group, the religious group, if you could call us a religious group, because you know the numbers in Brazil, the religious group with the highest intellectual level are the Spiritists. If that's good, very good. I'm not questioning, I'm not saying it's not good, but if it is without moral transformation, we are in big trouble, right? And look at the other one. Oh my Lord, wasn't I so ready to go fight to be an activist when I was a teenager, when I entered college? And look at this. Charity without moral transformation is just activism. Eventually you get sick in it. You start looking at people's defects, let's put it this, or flaws, and then you quit. So many activists, and if if there's no intention there in truly human growth, you quit, you get tired, you get disappointed, which is even more serious. One more time, just to refresh, that's what we are here for. As my grandmother used to say, you did not come to this planet on vacation. Get over and start working, she used to say. Now let's go to the bottom line. What does it mean to be a spiritist in the 21st century? What is the scenario we are living in right now? Because if we wanted to just repeat the experiences of Kardec's time, it's not going to happen. If we just want to use the experiment that Chico Xavier did, it's not going to work as well. Number one, let's make this very clear. The moral laws will never change. God's laws do not change, right? So what we strive today is the same as humanity has always been trying to evolve to, the moral laws that are in God's laws. But the cultural differences, we cannot ignore them, right? Imagine we Brazilians that come to America, the type of charity, for example, that we do in Brazil doesn't necessarily work here, right? It's a different kind of society, and there are different values, there are different ways of approaching. And if we just want to copy the experiences, it's not going to work. We have to figure out how we adapt to the environment where we are, right? This is extremely important. And this, I want to call our attention for what role does the use of time? Maybe I should have written the use of your time. This time, this something. You guys are young, you don't know that, but I'm getting old. I'm trying to figure out that I'm running out of time. I mean, never mind what I wasted, and I still do. But for some reason, after I turned 60, I started thinking, I'm running out of time. I have so much to do. So this management of my time is precious, very precious. And another one that I like to consider, what stimuli are we immersed in today? And we're going to talk about those stimuli. That definitely is different from the time of Chico Xavier and from the time of Kardec. Absolutely. What economic and philosophical scenarios are we experiencing that may hinder or facilitate our moral progress? Right? A lot of things that we could talk about because we live on planet Earth. We live in a capitalist country. We live in a society that has values, right? There are so many things that may hinder or facilitate. Just think about this Zoom. A year ago, I would freak out using Zoom. This has facilitated my life immensely. Just imagine this. So let's talk about it. And let's talk about the singularities that we have today that Kardec didn't think about it because obviously he didn't have to. There we go. I hope this color doesn't distract you. An addiction to stimuli that result in dispersion, alienation, and ultimately in destruction. We're going to talk about the eternal search for happiness. And we don't want any happiness. We want happiness all the time. We want to be we want to be entertained. If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. There's kids who need to be entertained all the time. This preoccupation we have, and what are the results of that? This consumption of energy, this is kind of scary to me. The consumption of energy and time with inessentials, disposable and peripheral. We are busy with nothing. You want me to give you an example? I can give you an example. How many hours a day do you spend responding to your social media that are completely unnecessary? How many? Just imagine this sense of we are busy. We don't look, okay, let's go another example. I live on the 7th floor. So I take the elevator. Every day I meet people on the elevator, but we are just too busy with our phone. We don't even look at one another. We don't dare even put your eyes to see the other person. So this waste of energy with the inessentials is something, and I have to say, this is something that requires conversations. We need to get together one day and say, come on, guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this idea of we are busy with nothing. There is a tremendous amount of conversation we could have about this. The misuse of the planet's resources has reached a point of no return. I didn't say that. Do you know who said that? I forgot her name now. Oh, Lord. That young girl from Sweden. What is her name? I can't remember. But you know that girl, right? That she's been traveling around the world. She decided to take action because she says, I'm scared.
Greta Thunberg.
Oh,
Greta
yes.
Thunberg.
Yes. Thank you so much. But this is serious business. This is serious business. We are creating a situation of people that we are causing, that we are calling environmentally disposed. Let's make it clear they're coming. You know, Brazil, I'm just using this as an illustration. Brazil used to be a country that used to be so friendly. You talked about Brazil and people say, oh my God, how friendly are they? Now, with this influx of immigrants, and let's face it, the immigrants are poor. They come from war. They came from Haiti. They come from some African countries. They come from the Syrian war. And now in Brazil, that friendliness about the other is gone. And I'm going, oh my Lord, what happened to us? Which was our characteristic of being so embracing. We are now looking at, you talk about people, you drive in Brazil and you stop at, in my case, I come from the north of Brazil. So you stop at a traffic light and the immigrants from Venezuela come and people talk bad. You should see the hate. And I'm going, we are not waking up to the situation that this is going to be just becoming bigger and bigger, and we need to prepare for that. This one is even scarier. Our food is so intoxicated that are causing profound structural and emotional changes. And I saw this on a PBS documentary. It freaked me out. They have found plastic in human and DNA samples. And these are causing immense. I think I told again that this woman went to have, she was 7 months pregnant or whatever, and she went to see for some birth defect. So they test her amniotic liquid in her belly, and there was plastic. And I'm going, oh my God, what's going on, right? So we have to be serious, because if our faith is a reasoning faith, we are not going to close our eyes and dunk our heads on the sand. We're going to have to live on a planet that is in process of change, and we got to be aware of that. Now, this is one I like. To evolve, evolve, I'm talking about each one of us individually, planning, strategy, and self-management. Oh, my Lord, therefore, you in charge, right? Do you want to evolve? Get your act together. I tell myself, I look in the mirror every day, get your act together and start planning your evolution. And the big deal is self-management. Self-management. Time management, oh my Lord. Because we keep saying now that we don't read because we don't have time. To plan for our moral evolution, we need to situate ourselves. Just a second, let me just move this 1 second. In the environment we are immersed in. This is not these are not my words. Family, job, community, we gotta plan to share our evolutionary life with those who share our values and beliefs, but also with those who do not. And I have to say, we have, maybe guys, it's just because I am naturally a negative person. Honestly, it's because you guys don't know me. But my husband says, there comes doomsday woman. That's how he calls me, because I tend to be so critical that I just kind of go to the negative. But the truth of the matter is, we are going to have to replan and reevaluate, right? We have got to do this. And going back to that slide that we saw before, of that need for constant entertainment and a life of happiness, perpetual happiness, I don't think it's going to happen. And I have a 20-year-old that I have to teach her that we have some moments of happiness, but I have to explain to her that facing obstacles, misjudgment, and all kinds of suffering is part of living on this planet. So it is extremely important that we have this conversation. As I said before, I just started a few months ago, in December actually. I'm working with this at-risk federal government trade school. All of these kids, I mean, they're kids from 17 to 24. All of them have failed in life. And there is this perception that they want nothing, that they are losers, that it's over. And I said, I can't buy that. And last Wednesday, I was supposed to do a presentation. And I said, oh my God, this is going to be my first presentation. It's virtual. They don't know me. I look old. What are they going to say? They're going to already say she has an accent and she's old, no good, right? So I'm going, what am I going to say? So I said, when I first start, I said, guys, I know you're here because you need to log in for 2 hours. You need your hours recorded. But I wanted to know, do you want to do this for real? Are we going to talk about this topic for real? Can you raise your hand if you think that we should do it for real? Only one kid did not raise his hand, which means I'm going, oh my Lord, there you are. They just have not been exposed to any other options. This idea that we separate people, it's like the good and the bad, it's ridiculous. It's not evangelical, let's put it this way. It's not Christian to label people as if they had no hope. But anyway, let's keep going. The most important thing that I could probably say today is not my words, it's Emmanuel, the Spirit Emmanuel. Words is evolution is a merit. It is personal. Get moving. Do not feel sorry for yourself. And this, I was watching this presentation, and I don't have a apparent mediumship. I used to say, I'm like a stone. I don't feel anything. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. I must be in the wrong place. So then I'm watching this thing, and I dared make this comment. And the guy, the presenter said, who is a philosopher, somebody I respect immensely. He says, From now on, I want you to start asking, what is stopping you from perceiving, feeling mediumship? You are blocking. You have probably some energy that is because everybody has it. It could be in the name of intuition, but you have it. This idea, and he was so hard on me. He says, this idea that you're like a stone, get over it. Start evolving. I'm going, yes, sir, thank you. And off I'm going, because I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm going to start, actually, it's know thyself principle. You got to know, why am I unable to have any level of sensitivity? There's got to be a reason. And the reason is there's too much noise inside of me. I have to quiet my heart. I have to reevaluate. That's called self-management and planning. And I mean, oh my God, I said, oh Lord, how embarrassing. But it was the best thing he could have told me. Let's move on, because as you see, I talk like crazy. What are the dominating values? I'm going to go quick on this because I don't need to tell you this. You know it. But I read this somewhere and I decided to copy it. I hope the author will forgive me. It's not a healthy sign to be well adapted living in a sick society. Is that crazy or what? It shocked me when I saw that. Are you very comfortable thinking that life is really good? Question. It's not a healthy sign. Maybe we need to reevaluate ourselves to think about it, right? And I'm just going to put this up. I swear you don't need me for explaining this. The dictatorship of eternal youth? Yikes. The cult of consumption? Do you need explanation? No. The denial of science in favor of blind faith? Do I need to explain that? I don't think so. The substitution of humans for pets. I already spoke about this, and I really want to take a minute about this. There's absolutely nothing wrong in having animals and pets. Pets are good. They are healthy. They are so good. Nothing wrong. What's wrong is, are you spending $4,000 in a birthday party for a pet, while there are children who are starving? That seems like a problem, right? Are you getting, I don't know, I'm not going to go there, but you know what I'm talking about. This exaggeration, this extravagance of people who are prefer the animals instead of humans. Let's face it, the animals are so much easier. I'm with you. I know better, right? The pets, they don't question me. It's so much easier. I tell him, go to your bed, and he does. It's so easy. But we are here to evolve as humans. And it's extremely difficult to live among other humans these days. If I could only evolve by myself, I promise you I would do it. This is so much easier, but that's not what we're here for. Rampant denial for the value of life. No problem. I don't need to explain. Suicide, abortion, engineering babies, etc., etc. Those are just a few of some values. Look at this. I think I said dominating values of the 21st century. We gotta question. And maybe we can at least start changing within ourselves. Let's go back to Spiritism. We are not a formal religion, and we do not promise miracles. And the emphasis is do not, because that's not what we are here for. We don't even believe in miracles. We do not participate in the dispute of members. We do not have marketing apparatus promising to solve all the problems in the world. You know, one of the things that I saw, and I'm going to share this just because I hope it illustrates this point. I do a work that I go on in the summer. I go to the small villages of the Amazon. And my job, I'm hired by the University of the Amazon there to train teachers. So you can't believe the little places I've been to. The most unbelievable, far away you can imagine I've been to. And one of the things that have shocked me the most is the amount of churches. I mean, it is with if the amount of churches that we have in Brazil represented goodness, happiness, and well-being, I tell you, we would be in very good shape. It is astonishing in every corner. These people don't have what to a pair of shoes to wear. In those churches, those mega churches, I said, I can't believe this. And I kept going from one town. It's been years that I've been doing this. And I'm going to start counting because I was shocked. And again, what's happening? Why isn't the number of churches representing the number of well-being and happiness? Why are we still in a very, very difficult time? I used to dream about going back to Brazil. I said, man, I'm going to retire and I'm out of here. And I'm going back to Brazil. I can't do this. I just can't do it. Because it's so hard to live there. So hard. It is unbelievable. Right? Now, what is our mission then? To help those who suffer and suggest a path to inner transformation. We are not going to give them a magic recipe. Our mission is to awake individuals and ourselves to the immortality of the soul and to each individual's task to moral progress. You know, if we are not doing that, we are wasting our incarnation here. If we are promising to solve people's problems, oh my Lord, this is not good. Spiritism does not substitute the work of each individual, but every spiritist must never forget that without charity, there is no salvation. It is our job to assist others. And I dare say, and I hope, I'm not sure, I hope you agree with me, if one of the biggest things we can do nowadays is to listen to people. Look at the number of suicides. In the virus, the pandemic, these numbers are going up in crazy. People are hurting. Maybe they don't need, maybe they do need now food. I used to say this before the pandemic, maybe they don't need food, but actually they do. But they need to be heard. They need comforting. Just go to one of those houses for elderlies. It breaks your heart to see the loneliness. We need to figure out what it is that we can do as an individual, but this is not just for activism. Activism does not work. The world is full of those experiences and they don't work. There you go. That's special. Without youth participation, Spiritism will become just another traditional philosophy. I think I said this before so many times. You go to Brazil and you see some old Spiritist groups, they're closing their doors because the members are dying and there's nobody to replace them. Look, Spiritism is maturing in America. We were babies a decade ago. We are now almost grown-ups. Very soon, our generation is going to be old. We have to plan for this. We do, I'm serious. We have got to plan because our young generation will become the protagonists. We have got to plan on this. The other thing is, I'm not going to take too much of a time in this because you guys get it. The language we are using, the means to communicate with the young generation. As long as we understand that we have got to prepare. Okay, now, one thing that I want to, that I'd like to say about this, and I have some problems with this in the few Spiritist centers I've been to, is we, the elderly, right? Those who think they know everything, they don't trust the younger. They keep saying they're not mature enough. Oh, they haven't studied this book, they haven't done this, they haven't done that, and therefore we keep them on hold. And it's going to just defeat us because we are waiting for them to be perfect and knowledgeable to start becoming active members of the community. Because we wouldn't dare get a 15-year-old to do a conversation like this, the one I'm doing, because we're scared he's going to mess up. Because maybe he's too immature. So what? We are all immature. This is probably the biggest challenge for Spiritism in the 21st century. We have got to start, we have to remember that the first generations in the 20th century, these people were giants. They were magnificent humans with defects, but they were giants. And we have got to start preparing the new generation, right? Because in a few years, nobody wants to hear us anymore. We are too old. Even the way we talk is not going to work anymore. And where is the youth? Big deal, because put them to perform. I heard this several times. Put these guys, dare them, have them in position of leadership. Put them in the presidency of your center. Also, are you crazy? No, I'm not. Have them, mature them. If they make a mistake, so be it. No big deal. But they don't know the doctrine, that's okay. I don't either. I'm a youngster here, but you gotta do it for sure. Now, this is a little difficult. A lot of people still believe that religion, spirituality has nothing to do with the world we live in. I know people that if you talk about social justice, environmental justice, religious justice, they say, no, it's not for me. Because they think that spirituality has no connection with the world we live in, because we probably are all angels and we live like above the earth, but I don't think so. I heard somebody saying this and I freaked out. Just signing virtual petitions is not enough. Because I love signing a petition. I love it. And I think I'm doing something. And the guy says, no, it's okay, but it's not enough. We must reevaluate our consumption and the management of our own resources. I think I'm going to repeat because I think it's so cute. In Jacksonville, here in Florida, this elderly lady who was the president of the center, she decided to buy some little glasses for the water. This is before pandemic, right? You know, in Brazil, they have those little cups like this big that people drink cachaça. It's this little thing, right? So she decided to buy it for us to drink the water at the end of the meetings, just to be environmentally correct. This is like 10 years ago, I think I said, oh my God, this woman just flipped. What in heaven is she thinking? What's wrong with the plastic cups? And she was so ahead of her time. She was already thinking that the cups were not environmentally correct, that we could find alternatives. And I'm going, oh my God, I'm so ashamed. Finally, 3-4 years later, I figured that she was right, I was wrong. We are all responsible for the survival of the planet. Ignoring our role is a clear sign. This, guys, I love this. Let me just move this so I can read it right. Ignoring our role in this planet is a clear sign that we have not yet awakened to the fact that everything is connected. If you're still wasting, food, if you're still thinking that, oh man, I'm not sure if I could give that example, that the 100 pair of shoes you have in your closet are indispensable, you have not yet awakened that the fact that everything is connected. Do you know what is my best example for the connectedness? 12th century, Saint Francis of Assisi. Wasn't he the guy who said, my brother, sun, my sister, the moon? He got it. And we are still here dragging because we still are thinking that we owe the planet and we can spend it as we wish. But not so good. As we said, the challenges of the 21st century are immense. Good thing we have the technology, we have the knowledge, we have the information, and we have the will. If you are here on Super Bowl day having this conversation, it's because you have the will of evolving. I'm convinced about that. This is one more, and I'm almost done. I promise I have one more slide and we'll be done. What is a lay democracy? For those who don't understand the word lay, it means not religious. Do we really want a dominant religion? Do we want that? Is it going to be us? Is it our religion who's going to dominate the others? What's going to happen with the others? We have got to think. So when you guys said non-denomination, I said, oh my God, so good. God bless you, because you already got it. You already got it. Freedom of religion and freedom of expression has once again become a serious challenge. I don't need to tell you that because we see this on television every day. Every day. I'm going to tell you how crazy. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. It's just an example, okay? In Brazil, you know how we have the hills and the mountains. That's where the poor live, right? We call them the favelas. Traditionally, those places were places where the African Americans congregated, and they had their African Brazilian religions, which 2 or 3 different ones. And has been a tradition since Brazil exists as a country. Now we have the gangs, the traffic gangs that call themselves evangelicals, burning to the ground the African Brazilian religions in those places. I swear, I'm not inventing this. And when I said no, I don't want to hear that, because those centers, those candomblé or whatever, those African religions, they have always been persecuted. But a gang member, traffic gang member, that calls themselves evangelicals and go burn them, I couldn't handle. That's too much for me. I swear, it's too much for me, for my understanding, right? And we can't ignore this. We cannot. We risk to become the persecutors. You know, so many of us, and I mean us, the Spiritists, and I have to tell you, Brazil is full of it. Brazil is full of it. Them and us, the good ones and the bad ones. We cannot ignore that. We're gonna have to act, right? We risk to join those who see their religion as the only way to God. We can't. This is a tremendous struggle. I'm not sure you can read it. I hope you can. Yeah, this is my last step. Attention, my sisters and my brothers. The Spiritist movement is entering a phase of dangerous division. Attention, my friends. We have got to stand up. You know, we receive, say, I speak to those centers, but not those others. Oh, they practice this, then we shouldn't be going there. Attention. I mean, this is so serious. We are babies. We are babies. We're not even 200 years yet. We are already dividing. We must be those elements of unity and speak out about it. And when I am on Facebook with my, that lost hours of the day that I'm on Facebook, oh man, I tell you, if I see somebody doing this, I'm sorry. I chose to be a spiritist for this, and this, and division is not part of what I believe in. And I am not going to join commentaries or changes or this person has the truth, but that other speaker doesn't. That's not, we can't do that, because if we do, we are just repeating the mistakes of religions that have done the same in centuries, right? And here I am to finish. We recognize a true spiritist by his or her moral transformation and by the effort to overcome their own bad inclination. That's my last word. Obviously, you guys know it's not mine, it's Kardec's. But what I am saying is, we have to be completely knowledgeable that number one, I told you I'm a doomsday woman, right? I told you that. I'm sorry. I now my perspective is good things. Good thing we're not alone. We have the technology, we have the connections, right? I from now on, I'm gonna see you guys as my brothers and sisters that I can count on, that I can share my fears, and I can share my difficulties, right? But grandma told me, you did not come to this planet on vacation. Get over it. And sure, you're not in heaven yet. Get over it. It's tough. I tell my daughter this every day. It's tough. But you can do it because you're not alone. We have our mentors. We have the spiritist knowledge, and it's not only spiritists, right? There is so much good in the world. There is. I've been doing my Facebook just to finish. I'm done, I promise. I decided to say, what lessons have we learned? Are we supposed to learn from the pandemic? And then I spent to my friends and I say, can we make a list? Can you help me make a list? So I have something like 45 comments. Not one is negative. Not, and believe me, my friends are not spiritists. They are from all everywhere. Not a single one said bad, the humanity is wicked. What? No. Everybody said something positive that we are experiencing right now. So is the 21st century bleak? I don't think so. There's so much good taking place right now. So many things that people are doing. to help others to overcome their difficulties during this pandemic. All we gotta do is let's not forget it when the pandemic is over. Let's just keep doing this immense goodness that is happening right now. Immense goodness. Thank you, my friends. Just think about it. Include me in your prayers. I need it badly. Before you guys logged on, I told you I stopped counting the friends of mine who have passed. It was 14, the last one I counted, and today one more 15. And it's all of a sudden you can despair. You can say, I mean, we are so powerless. That is just so dangerous, but not me. I'm so stubborn. I am believing in goodness and I see it. And when my list is ready, you can help me with your list, okay? When my list, I'm gonna start sending to you. I promise. Because we need just to hold hands and carry on. How this may all be one that Jesus prayed for is going to be, I have no idea. But I'm excited to be in the team. That's all I care. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, any comments, good or bad, I'll take it, no problem.
Wow, thank you so much. That was a beautiful presentation. A lot to learn there. I'll let, if anybody has any comments, go ahead and jump in, but thank you so much.
I just have to say how inspired I am. Oh my gosh, you really touched my heart.
Kiki.
Really, you like really said so many important things to remind us, and also to I don't know, to turn on this fire that you have when you speak. You like your energy, you definitely bring the sweetness of your name to everything that we heard today. So thank you. I just want to thank you so much, and God bless you, sister. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiki.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a comment.
Sure.
Appreciate you, Dulce. Yeah, he is totally 100% correct. You brought up a lot of topics, a lot of issues that really touches us very close. And I want to just critique on one thing that you brought up, that about this new return to normal. It cannot be. There's no such a thing as going back to that normal. So that's something that really touched me, because I believe, and I think I addressed this in this group some time ago, the importance of us to go back to what we do, whatever field we are involved with, and reconsider, hey, what's wrong in my area, and be the activist in that area that you're acting, because what we choose to do is going to influence not just those that we work together, those that are involved in our world, but that's the transformation. We cannot agree to go back to the old normal. We are part of this recreation, and that's our commitment that is required of us. Because I know I'm on my 60s too, and my time is running out. But there's so much work to be done.
Normalcy is for the weak. We are revolutionaries. I swear, we are revolutionaries.
There you go.
And one thing important for me in your speech again, that wow, thanks so much. We listened this before, and it was so amazing. I took notes, like I did the same notes again. And I think if you come to talk about the same topic again, I will be surprised. I will be inside the topic. It is very very educational. And one thing that touched me the most, Dulce, when the beginning is managing your evolution. Why have not think about that? We manage so many things, have discipline with so many things in our daily life and material life. And what a great point there. Managing your evolution. What I'm doing every day. What is my goal for today? To evolve, for what I can repeat, can correct to not be repeat tomorrow what I'm doing today. Because we talk a lot about inner transformation, moral transformation, and the teaching is every day. But we must need to do, like you said, managing your evolution. For me, the word of the month. Thanks so much for your time, for your presence.
I
And
wanted you to know that my sister is in the Amazon and she's connected. I just saw her name now. And she's sharing with us. That's how fabulous the world is today. You know,
what is her
honestly,
name?
I am, her name, it's Meg. Her name is Margaret. But look at how fabulous this is.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's right there in the middle of nowhere, and she's connected and she's sharing with us. This should give us such a joy because it's a signal of the good things we are capable of doing thanks to technology. But it's not only technology, it's willingness.
Yeah.
It's
Welcome,
welcome, Margaret.
Margarete.
Right.
Yeah, seja
So,
bem-vinda.
thank you. Thank you so much again for your beautiful talk and touching on just a large number of really important subjects that for some may be really hard to hear, but ever so more important to pay attention to. And one that stuck out for me was the strong reminder to see Mother Earth as a brother or sister of ours. When Jesus said, love God above all else and your neighbors as yourself, a couple of years ago, a mentor came through at our center reminding us that our neighbors are not just humans, they're also animals, plants, and as a matter of fact, planets. So to pay attention to that, and then having you actually point out St. Francis saying, pretty much the same, in other words, to me was very powerful to have that reminder for all of us to pay attention more to our Earth, the atmosphere. And the other thing is also that you spoke to for all of us to pay attention to fostering the unity within the Spiritist movement. Spiritism is great, but the movement is separate, and yet it's Spiritism, but it takes energy to not perpetuate the divide, the bifurcation that's going on the planet. And that also brings home the responsibility for us, not just within Spiritism, but even outside of Spiritism, politically and all other realms, to not support the bifurcation, at least, making an effort. And that is something that I think is very important to be taken seriously, because it's something that's so in our faces every day, right? So thank you for pointing all of this out. I really enjoyed your talk. Thank you, Dulce. Thank you.
Thank you, Dulce. The strongest message that I received in this presentation, and there were many, was the consistency with our inner transformation, always moving it forward, never staying stagnant. And love is the greatest vibration in that. And that love for ourselves as we go through this continual inner transformation of ourselves, we share it with our brothers, our sisters, our neighbors, be them human or some other type of species, or even down to Mother Earth. And Sunshine addressed on that just a second ago. Anything that is alive, anything that is even inorganic, we must respect and love. And in doing so, we're respecting and loving ourselves. And through that, hopefully, we're obtaining that unity that you talked about amongst us all. No matter if it's Spiritism or Christianity or Judaism or Hinduism. Some of you are much more deeper into the realm of Spiritism around the world. I am not. But I don't think of my inner transformation as, Spiritism is the way. I speak to a brother or sister in Hinduism. I speak to a brother or sister in Judaism. I don't care what religion you are. I have something to learn from you. I have something to share with you. And when we cross that road and realize that, the unity unfolds amongst us all. So thank you. Thank you.
You know, the song of John Lennon's song, it never made so sense much ever than ever. Really, it's what we need.
Just to piggyback on what Brian just said, on your slide presentation, Dulce, you use the word to as being transformation as a task. I would suggest it is an obligation of all of us.
Absolutely,
Well,
because it's inevitable. It's inevitable. So you are right. I'm gonna do that. You are absolutely right. I mean, you can't escape. You gotta do it. Might as well do it now, right? Might as well get started.
but we cannot force. We can still respect the free will. No, as God, our Heavenly Father, respect us. We cannot impose. No, everything has to be sweet.
Yeah. So in
I,
the,
I, I, I was just thinking about today. I wake up and I was seeing a message, reading a message, and I feel a little responsible for my kids. And I create a group of me and them only, and I suggest to them. I said, we have been so talking every day, but it's important to have a group as mother and children, but not just a whole family, mother, grandmother, uncles and aunts, and cousins and nieces. But I think it's important for you to, as a mother, have a close group with your kids. And I suggest to them today, let we do a gospel at home once a week.
Yes.
My son is in Portugal. My grandson is 12 years old, and he has his wife and my granddaughter 1 year and a half, and my daughter in Brazil. So I said to them, I'm not imposed because I have been waiting for so long because I don't want to impose. But today I feel obligation, like our dear Charles was saying. I feel responsible to continue because they were trusting us in the motherhood, and then we want to respect their free will all the time. But sometimes when you see they need us, they need being guided spiritually, and we help so many others, helping ourselves and helping others. And why not share this with your kids again? If they do not participate, I will be okay with my heart because I try again. But that what we have to do, united. That one important word you said today is the united, to make the world as one, to make the families as one. It is not just my daughter, my mother, my father. We are all fathers, mothers, daughters, brothers, and sisters. And then with this love and respect.
yeah, the education of youth is so important. And we have to consider that we are faced with a tremendous challenge because they're exposed to a larger group, which is an educational system that does not consider, does not give respect to religious education. And it opens up a tremendous challenge for them. They're exposed to the media, to what's out there, and it is difficult because I have children and grandchildren uh, that are young, and for us to introduce them into spiritism is difficult and very complex challenge. That this topic alone deserves a group study or some kind of presentation. Right, Nora?
Thank you so much. As I said, I feel that we are like, moving a drop in the ocean, but that's okay. A drop in my experience as a teacher, which has been all my life, I have said in millions of times, one is better than zero. Whatever, one is better than zero. So it's better a little than nothing, right? If you can do a little good, it's better than no good. And that's how we keep going. Good thing we have many reincarnations to accomplish it. That's probably the most important thing I learned in Spiritism, because I was so crushed thinking that I'm this bad and I'm not an angel, believe me. I would probably look at my family. I would probably am the worst of all of them. But good thing I have many reincarnations to keep going and try again and try again. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I do, from my heart. I do. I beg you, pray for me.
Thank you,
But I
Dulce.
wanna managing the time, my evolution every day. I wanna really work in managing that, because I wanna reincarnate, but in better words. Even though I know I have to come back here many times, but I wanna progress more and more.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Regina. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say, reincarnation was the hardest thing for me to hear because I did not want to come back. But it makes so much sense because no one gets away with whatever it is that they do. And, the depending on what a person does do, and let's say they do the horrific thing and then die. Well, you have to pay for that. You just can't just walk away, with a clean slate. And, you have to pay for it. And God, being just, found a way. Reincarnation. Wasn't happy to hear it, but it makes sense. I'm on board.
No, and you know what I think? It's reincarnating and being among people.
Yes.
Because we gotta do this together. That's the biggest deal for me. It's doing together. Because otherwise, I think I would just go to be a hermit or whatever. But you gotta do it together. We grow together. Alone, you're stuck.
Yeah.
So help me. Please don't leave me behind.
Like you said, we're not on vacation.
Exactly.
Dulce, would you feel comfortable leaving your contact information in the messenger, in the chat?
I sure can.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else have any comments? Or thank you so much again, Dulce. Yeah, it was beautiful. I absolutely loved it. There was a lot to learn from it. If there are any more comments, maybe we could just maybe come back at 11:20 if people need to move around, grab your water, hit the restroom, and then we'll go forward with our second half.
Those our second part is a healing, spiritual healing. We have a virtual passes. And then after that, we have a little healing meditation. You are welcome to join us, or if you have other things, other plans, we understand.
No, I'm going to stay as much as I can. I'll be quiet and I'll stay as much as I can, but I'll be quiet, I promise.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think we have 2 minutes break. And don't forget your water and names and pictures of those one you need to pray and receive blessings from the spiritual friends.